I'd like to say a few words in English in this Parsha. Parshas Vayishlach, we see the Maise Ovoi similar Bonim, the fight between Yaakov and Esau. We shouldn't think it's such a possible fight that Yaakov nilcham with a son of Esau. How can a human being fight with a malach? A malach we talk about, not talk about the boss of Adam. Yaakov Avinu is 84 years. Yaakov Avinu is 77 years old, and he's fighting with a malach. What's he fighting about? The Torah brings down, he fought about with him, about the makel, the stick of Yaakov Avinu. It's Yidua, the Yaakov Avinu left his father, and he went to Choron. In the middle of the way, he came Eliphaz. Eliphaz says, my father said, I have to kill you. So Yaakov Avinu said, Hetzachaim, listen to me, please don't kill me. Only a poor man is choshev like a mace. Please take all my money away. Even my clothing, leave me completely naked. Take every single thing away from me, and go tell your father that only choshev kameis. And why did he know only choshev kameis? Because Eliphaz got grown up by Yitzchak Avinu, and he left Yaakov Avinu with nothing. As once saw brought down in Medoshim, it's brought as how could leave Yaakov Avinu there naked? Suddenly came a soldier, went into the water to Toivel, and he came out, and he didn't come out. He got drowned there. Yaakov Avinu took his clothes and went. He said, "What shall I do now? I've nothing to do now. I wanted to go to Choron, but I can't go there because I've got nothing to do. I have no money on me." So he went to the Beis HaKnesses, to Yeshiva Shem Ve'eva. He learned there for 14 years. In any case, he had to wait there until he's born Leah and Rochel. That's the shidduch of them. Then he goes back to that's the posture of Vayetzi Yaakov Be'eshov V'yelech Chorona V'yachalom V'nichos Chaloim Mutzav Atzel Rosh Megir Shemayim V'nei Melech Elikim Oile V'yoyde Boy. The mechoma between him and the Malach was about the stick. Which stick? The stick he had in the stick shemen, and with this shemen, it got filled up. That's what's it in the Sifsei Koina La Torah brings down. It got filled up with shemen whenever he used it to learn a night with the house of Lovon. He had no electricity, he had no batteries, no nothing, he had no generator. The fight was between Esau and Yaakov about the limit of Torah. The Chofetz Chaim says that at soif kol hadoros, you see people which want to be mefanes tamidei chachomim. They have tax on the money. They have all sorts on the money. You want to work, go and work. But you want to learn Torah? No. You can't learn Torah because all the tax is everything on the limud Torah, what people want to learn. Maisa always similar bonim. But Teitze Dino bas Leah. Dina didn't start over here. Leah went out. Did Leah, when she went out 100% lishmo? Or Leah went out not 100% lishmo? Of course she went out to see Yaakov Avinu. But what was her kavono when she went out to see Yaakov Avinu? Was the kavono to be 100% lishmo or only 99? Because sof kol sof, Rochel wanted to go with Yaakov Avinu. And she couldn't go out because Leah got this dudoim. These dudoim, the seeds which Reuben brought home from the garden, from the field. And these dudoim were kind of seeds which help the woman to become pregnant. But that caused the fight between Rochel and Leah. This whole thing, like the Medrash brings down, or so Parshas Vayishlach, we mentioned about it last week. That was the fight between Rochel and Leah. And because of that, Rochel didn't get buried next to Yaakov Avinu. And Leah did go out. But mashma, the whole fight between Rochel and Leah was around these dudoim, and who caused it? Reuven. And that caused Reuven was Bulbal. He had chaos in his mind. He was all completely mixed up. He took the bed out of this week's parsha, Vayishkav es Bilo. He took the bed out of Bilo's tent, and he put it into his mother's tent. Yaakov said, "Why are you going to the pain soon? Why do you mix up?" From ever we see from this Indian, soif maaseh b'machshava tchila. Person can do a certain Indian. I want to tell you a story in the time of the Gaon Vilna. The wife of the Gaon Vilna once went out snoring money, came to the house of the rich man. She came knock on the door, and the rich man wasn't at home. And the wife said, "No, my husband is not here. He left." They were going down the street. suddenly one of the two women, or the wife of the Gomer Vilna, or the other woman, pointed out with her hand and said, Hine, Hine, have a look, there, I can see the man, he's coming up the road. She pointed with her hand and said, here, the man is coming. When one of these two women, before they were lifter, they shook their hands and they said, whoever is lifter first, I want you to tell me what goes on upstairs. What's the din upstairs in Shemaim? So one of them was lifter first. And she came along saying, the upstairs, the din is very, very severe. The din upstairs is very severe, and every machshava person does, thinks, and every dibur, and every what a person says, and a person sees, and a person smells, and a person does. Whatever a person does is all completely upstairs in Shemaim. Kodesh Baruch Hu is done. Every single person feels a machshava and the dibur. But even one of these women, which pointed out and said, there the rich man is over there, there he is, that alone is a much bigger mitzvah than the other woman which didn't point out with her hand. We see when a person is in shul and they do the Zoysa Torah Sheso Moshe, people point at the Sefer Torah. The pointing at the Sefer Torah is a big meiser, like we see the end of Parshas Vayishlach, when they brought to the cave of the Oren of Yaakov Avinu back to Eretz Canaan, came to a place called Goyren Ha'atot. So there were people lying there on the floor, and they saw the oil, and they saw the Oren of Yaakov Avinu. They stood up. Some say they fixed their belts. Some say they put on the braces to hold up the pants. Some say they pointed with their hands like instinct. The person suddenly hears something. So through the instinct he has, he like lifts up his hand. Why? Yeah, of course, I remember. Lifting up the hand, it's a das upstairs in Shemaim, a big pu'ulo in Shemaim. When a person lifts up his hand, and the Medrash says in Parshas Vayishlach, Ma Eilu, when they didn't do anything, when the Oren of Yaakov Avinu came past, they did nothing. They just lifted up the hands and they pointed and they said, it's Evel Godel, Ze LeMitzrayim. So the Medrash says, Harei Dvorim Kal V'chomer. Ma Elu, that they didn't go not with the hands, not with the feet, and Elo, they showed with the hands, Be'etzba, Nitzlu Mina Pu'onos, a Yid, which was Chesed, with the Gdoilim, with the Ktanim, with the hands and with the feet, Al Achas Kamo V'Kamo, they get saved from everything. From this what we see one of the things of our Pasha. Maise Ovois, Semel Abonim, Soiv Maase B'Machshov Atchila, every Dibu, every Maise, every Machshova what a person does, it's all measured in Shomaim, and how the person does it, what is the kavon of the person does his deeds. He points out his hands, he yawns, he closes the window, he opens the window, he thinks, he doesn't think, he says, he smiles, he makes a phone call. Whatever a human being does in this world, every single thing, individual thing, if it's done l'shem shamayim, your l'shem shamayim, not l'shem shamayim, we could pay for it very severe. But of course, we can get big schar. It depends how every single ma'aser is done. That's what we see in this week's Sefer. Ma'aser ovois, simen labonim, soif maase b'machshov atchila.